Welcome back for a new unboxing video. This time we are checking out a bundle of a pretty interesting set. This is the sequel set to the original classic Kaladesh. And then, of course, now most recent taking place in this universe was Aether Drift. So I thought, let's do something on Aether Revolt. So with that said, this is pretty cool. Of course, you're seeing stereotypical at the time bundles with 10 packs. Of course, your box, which is pretty nice. Of course, your stereotypical little box to put like dice and stuff in. And of course, this was back when they still did the books and stuff. Of course, what are considered the top 10 cards from the set. And here's most of the regular cards. I do like the whole atmosphere and feel of the world of Kaladesh. There's some legit, pretty good artifacts in this set, as well as a few good cards for the Pauper format. And that is it. So, let's get to it. And our dice. Of course, your basic info, which they don't do as much nowadays. I do also miss when they used to include these. And a pack of 80 lands. Yeah, sadly at this time they didn't include a special art card or anything. Of course, I'll put polls down below. Okay, what? And here's our first rare, which I already have a copy of this. Yeah, there are definitely some really cool cards from this set, I will say. If you get a chance, check out Aether Revolt. Of the older stuff from this world, Aether Revolt is far more affordable than Kaladesh, for specific reasons. Now, sadly in these days, all you got was one rare in the older sets. There's going to be a lot of repetition in the set given the fact the set is relatively small, as there is less than 200 cards in the set. So, I mean, between the cards I already have from the set, I'll probably be, depending on what rares I actually pull, I'll probably end up having around like 80% of the set. So in the future, sometime I may do ranking looking at my top 10 favorite cards from the set. I will say there's definitely some really good, I think, cards in this set for the Pauper format. As well as I could definitely see if some of the artifacts and stuff in this set being used in, like, Commander. And some other cards definitely in Modern. And our first foil. And just an advertisement. Hopefully everyone is stoked for Universe Beyond Final Fantasy, which we are just less than a week away, which is kind of crazy. Definitely stoked for it. Hopefully I can get more than what I was able to get pre-ordered through Card Kingdom. I really do like the architecture and designs of stuff from the world of Kaladesh, or now as they're called, basically Aether. Definitely some really cool looking technology. And an energy reserve, since that's a big mechanic in this set. It would be nice to pull at least one planeswalker in this. And only 3 more packs to go. Leave a comment below, give me your thoughts on this world, I guess now, the world of Ether. With that said, stay safe out there. Leave a like, subscribe. Check out some of my past unboxing videos, as I have a decent amount. Yeah, nice. Got a elf. So far we pulled 2 foil cards, since in these days you're not guaranteed one. Only one more pack after this. And holy crap, we actually did pull a Planeswalker. Well, that's pretty nice. So that's our first mythic. Since in these days, mythics weren't as common to pull as much as nowadays. Which is probably why mythics in this era pulled a little bit better value, because of the higher rarity. And what do we get in our last pack? Yeah, one of, I think, the cooler vampires, more unique looking design was. And here's our last. And that is it this time. And there is what we pulled. I'll see y'all next time. Stay safe.